It's now my pleasure to introduce our presiding officer, the president of the very busy president lately of the ADCRAFT Club of Detroit. Please welcome Christine McKenzie.
Next year will be our 100th anniversary. The ADCRAFT Club of Detroit will have been around for 100 years. And of course we're working very diligently to put together a wonderful program for you all to celebrate the centennial. So how about a big ADCRAFT welcome for Claire Balderson.
Which is very humbling indeed, and it makes you realise the power and the importance of what we do. There's a slightly comical side to it as well, which includes the offers of marriage that I've had. One from a Moroccan who found a copy of the BBC's magazine lying on a park bench in Rabat and sent me a letter saying that he considered himself a rather good catch with 3 camels and some cattle, and would I consider this as an offer? I hasten to add that I turned it down. More recently I've been getting letters exactly once a month from a gentleman in the Caribbean, in Montego Bay, who is most insistent that not only should I marry him, but that we have an understanding of some sort. And he's rather upset by the fact that I don't seem to be responding to this and haven't set the date or talked about when I'm going to be joining him in the Caribbean. So I think that relationship is going to come to an end soon. But it gives you an idea of how intense people feel about the radio station they're listening to and about the people who are talking to them.
Some of PM's signature programs are Read Aloud. Read Aloud, where more than 150 ADCRAFT members volunteer their time each month reading to first graders in the Detroit Public Schools. And of course the other major program that they do is the Award of Excellence, which of course will be presented today.
On behalf of the entire ADCRAFT PM Committee, it is with great pleasure to present the 2004 ADCRAFT PM Award of Excellence to the Dodge Account Supervisor at BPDO, Tara Stone.
This is quite a privilege. I want to thank the ADCRAFT PM Committee. I know many people who were candidates for this award, and can tell you I know it must have been a really tough decision. There were some really tough contenders out there. Thank you, everyone.
Good afternoon, everybody. We want to first start with an announcement about that very cool logo you see up there on the screen. At least we think it's cool. I'm sure everyone knows by now that 2005 is ADCRAFT's centennial year. ADCRAFTers, please welcome Mark Summers.
The way I actually got started in the entertainment world was as a magician. I grew up doing magic, and I always like to start my shows doing a little bit of magic. I actually used to do mind reading. Let me tell you what I'm going to do here. I have a deck of cards, and I'm going to go through the deck rather slowly, and I'm going to memorize the order of each and every card in the deck. I know it sounds quite impossible, but even as I speak to you now, I have memorized the order of each and every card. Would somebody call out any card, please? 7 of Hearts is 14th from the top. Would somebody else like to try one? You don't believe it. All right, well, let me show you. Here's where the magic comes in. 7 of Hearts is 14th from the top. I snap my fingers. It jumps 12th from the top. Snap my fingers again, 2nd from the top. Snap my fingers again. The 7 of Hearts jumps to the top of the deck. Not only has it jumped to the top, but it has changed into the Queen of Diamonds, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
And now to the lady on my right, Susan Line. Susan Line was named President and CEO of Martha Stewart Living Omnimedia last November. Her absolutely amazing career spans 25 years in television, publishing, and film, with an incredible track record of success. ADCRAFTers, please welcome Susan Line.
In truth, any one person on a creative team is never going to love everything they work on. But someone on that team better love it and be able to tell you why, or it's highly unlikely your customer will. Life is long, and the odds are great that the players you're negotiating with today will someday be sitting across from you at another table. A few manners wouldn't hurt. The guy who's interning for you may be running a company in 5 years. Treat him with respect. Take a little time out to listen to his dreams. Give him a few opportunities to shine. There's no downside, and it might just pay off later. Love what you create or get into a different business. Any cynicism about your product is infectious. It's debilitating. It's disrespectful. You've got to love it if you're going to sell it.
I don't know how many of you saw this front page, two-page article in the March 6th of the Free Press about Dan. It's dynamite. Dan is a homegrown guy who became one of the biggest success stories in our town. Dynamic Dan Gilbert. Thank you.
You know, we help with the financing of that home. That's what we do. And one kid said, "What's the name of the company?" And I said, "Rock Financial." And the whole second graders talking about your radio effectiveness. Every one of them was like, "Oh yeah, David Hall. We hear David Hall." Every little thing matters to us, and you'll see that as we go through. Now, as we go to other places, and we actually have a exercise for our brand new people. What they do is they have to go and walk in a Home Depot and walk in a Lowe's, and then they have to write an essay telling us the difference between these two stores. You know, what does this have to do with mortgages? It has nothing to do with mortgages. In fact, what we do it's harder to explain unless you're living it, but what we do really doesn't have that much to do with mortgages. It's a solid business DNA foundation. The product just lies on top of it, and we try to excel. And so we want to raise every single person's level. We're going to start paying attention to things.
The United States Postal Service is big business, and that's why the Postmaster General is also the CEO.
Most people in the advertising industry know that Michigan has a reputation for developing some of the most creative, results-producing campaigns of recent years. Congratulations to all of you, and keep that creative spirit moving. I'm also here because the advertising industry is going through an incredible change. It's an industry that's in transformation. In fact, trying to compare the advertising industry in 2005 with the agency industry of 20 years ago is literally impossible. Your business model has changed, and every agency in the nation is at work to develop new ways to create contact with clients and with new customers. And like you, we in the Postal Service have been undergoing a transformation, and it's been a painful transformation, but I don't think it's been as all-encompassing as the transformation that you've been through.